Okay, so even though, yes, I have the dog in the background, I also have a ton of bunnies. And considering that this video will go up on Easter, I kind of thought, well, what's one of the symbols of Easter beyond the Christianity and such like that? The kind of spring aspect of it is the Easter Bunny. So, bunnies. Um, and if you've already read the title of this video, then you know that this is going to be about my idea of a bunny devil fruit, or a usagi no mi, or usa no mi, whatever the variation of it is, or the rabbit variation of it is that you want. The dog is deciding whether or not he wishes to stay. You get graced with the dog's presence a bit longer. I have a lot of stuffed rabbits. Surprisingly enough, I do not have a stuffed Baneri or a lot bunny, which I want those. I just haven't found any yet. None of them have come across where I am. And considering that this is an Easter video, I figured that I might as well, yeah. I don't think the ears will stay around very long, but it's Easter. It's a rabbit video. I figured I'd go with the bunny ears for a little while. They may possibly change color throughout the course of the video. We shall see. So this is about my idea for a rabbit, devil fruit, bunny, devil fruit, whatever you want to call it. By technicality, in One Piece, we have had a rabbit devil fruit. We have had Rabbit Man, who is a smile user. He could have had it worse, admittedly, with how the rabbit could have manifested. It could have been a lot worse considering the other smiles we have seen throughout the course of the, Wano arc. And in reference to the fact of, bunnies in One Piece, we don't really see that many of them. I mean, we've seen the Lopins back on Drum Island, where Chopper is from, and we have seen the Sea Lopins, that were on the, the sea animal pirates, with there was the Kraken there, and there was the dugong, the Kung Fu dugong from Alabasta. So we've seen those, but we haven't really seen any other bunny type devil fruits. There's Bunny Joe, who is a revolutionary, but that's a different matter. But we haven't seen any other bunny devil fruits or any other bunnies take place beyond the glorious example that, of course, I am going to talk about, Carrot. Because Carrot's awesome. And I love her Sulong form. Just Carrot, general, awesome. And, the minks kind of give us an idea of what a lot of different hybrid animal forms might kind of look like. I mean, we got that a little bit with, Chopper's hybrid is kind of the exception to the rule. Dalton's, he's, half, half bison, half, human, and we see Lucci with his, and we've seen several other hybrid versions of Zones. And with the with the minks, we kind of get the idea of, okay, these are more anthropomorphized animals as opposed to the hybrid forms for the devil fruits. And as we've seen also with devil fruits, we know that if it's like if I ate the devil fruit that ate a Zoan type devil fruit, regardless of what the animal is, if the animal is generally smaller than I am, like most rabbits, then if I change into a full rabbit form, then it's just going to be like a me-sized giant rabbit, which certain aspects of that would be fine, but it's not like you can go and like hide amongst a bunch of rabbits and say like, no, I'm just a rabbit. I'm not real. I'm not a human. I am just a rabbit. The other end of that is that it's like you're a rabbit that eats a devil fruit, and if you're a rabbit that ate the human fruit, then maybe we'd probably get something along the lines of Lola Bunny. We got the original here, the Lola Bunny classic, and then we have the the new version, not that annoying version that was on the Looney Tunes series that they had in the mid 2010s. God, no, not her. The new version for the new Space Jam movie. which I haven't made my decision yet on whether or not I'm okay with this or not, but we'll see what happens when the movie actually comes out. In that line, for the other Warner Brothers rabbits, we also have, Babs Bunny from Tiny Toons, who adores Lola Bunny. And then we also have Lexi Bunny, who is kind of a futuristic descendant of, Lola Bunny. They're Looney Tunes, Lunatics Unleashed. It's a fun series. It's, let's take the Looney Tunes, a bunch of the classic characters. We got Bugs, Daffy, Roadrunner, Coyote, Lola, and let's put them into the future, give them powers, and change their names. Hey, the series was fun. I enjoyed the series when it was on. But yeah, so we have Lexi Bunny there. We have Lola Bunny, of course. We have Carrot, of course, from One Piece. And then, of course, going along the lines of other bunnies in anime, which there are lots of other bunny girls in anime, lots of characters that have been put into bunny outfits, the Playboy bunny outfits, lots of characters that, put the bunny ears on like this. And then, of course, we have, there's lots of other anime girls that have been put in bunny outfits throughout the course of anime. So many different variations of bunny outfits. And then, of course, we have Mirko from My Hero Academia, who is, of course, kind of basically the idea of what I would assume the bunny-human hybrid would look like for the most part. If it's, it's like the human ate the rabbit no me, whatever the version you want to call it. We would have Mirko, who she has, like the power of a rabbit in her legs. And then, of course, her costume, she has, I don't remember if her ears are natural or if she just, puts on fake ears for the costume. I do not remember. I think they're real. But, so we have Mirko there. And, like that, you would probably have, like, if you're, like, in the hybrid form, you would have, like, the kicking force of a rabbit, but in, like, the size of a human, sized up to make it even a stronger kicking force, like what happens with Chopper or with a lot of the other, zone hybrids that we have throughout the series. Lucci's human power is augmented by his hybrid form when he goes into his hybrid form that makes him even stronger. Same thing with a lot of the other hybrids that we've seen throughout the course of One Piece that are, the zone hybrid forms. And we just got introduced to Kaidos in the manga, so we'll see how that goes. We've seen a bunch of we've seen now a bunch of the other, Kaido's crew. We've seen all the Smiles running around, which some of them got off okay on the Smile Fruits, a lot of them didn't. And then, of course, we have the Toby Ropo, and we have the Calamities that are running around with their hybrid forms of, with their ancient zones, which, by the way, I would assume that there are ancient versions of rabbits, considering throughout the course of history we've had, lots of other ancient types of animals that are just like larger versions of this animal, larger versions of this animal. I would assume that there would be like an ancient type of a rabbit out there that would just be like a much larger version of a rabbit. And that would be like the ancient Zoan version of this devil fruit would be this, this much larger version of a rabbit. I will get into some mythical ones in a moment, but I kind of wanted to just kind of finish talking about like the basic of what you would get. And bunnies have so many different, colors and patterns and everything. There's brown bunnies, there's white bunnies, there's cream bunnies, there's reddish colored bunnies, there's gray bunnies, there's so many different other fur colors. And in One Piece, I would assume that depending on what animal you're turning into, like with Kaido, he has giant, he turns into a giant dragon and he has blue scales. We are going to assume that his hybrid form would also have blue scales when he's in that form. We'll see what happens when they get to showing what, the hybrid color form is going to look like when Oda goes there. But then we also have where we show, Chopper doesn't quite go full human, but he still retains, like his fur color is like the color that he looks, when he's in any of his forms. He still has his fur color is the same. So, by that logic, I mean, like Lucci turns, Lucci's coloring turns into the coloring of a leopard when he changes. Yet, Kaku keeps his same coloring and everything. But if you're, You know, it's like if you say you have, oh, I don't know, pink hair, then when you change, would your bunny version of your fur be pink? Or would it be a different color? Or would it be like just like a natural color of a bunny? You know, I guess that would just, I guess, depend on the person, because we don't know if, you know, because a lot of the zone users we've seen so far, their fur is just kind of the basic color of what the animal's fur normally is. But with rabbits, there's so many different variations of their fur color that, you know, we don't know. I guess it would just depend on, you know, whatever variation, you know. I don't think there would be like so many different variations of like the rabbit fruit, that it would result in, you know, your fur would probably end up being, you know, the dog is interrupting. Hi. Hi. You want to be in the video more? Yes, I know you're cute. You know, would it be that the rabbit's fur, when you change, would become, you know, whatever your hair color is? So, you know, if you're Vivi and you eat the rabbit fruit, you're going to be blue. If you're Nami, it's going to be orange colored. If you're Sanji, it'll be a blonde rabbit. If you're Zoro, it'll be a green hair. Do not attack the rabbits. My baby. You know, is that what it's going to be? Or if you're Robin, is it going to be, well, Robin already ate a devil fruit, but you get the idea. If you know, is your hair color going to be the fur color, or is it just going to be, you just have like a natural rabbit's fur color, like spotted brown and white or whatever? So, I mean, that would just be one of the thoughts that I guess would come with the rabbit fruit. I guess that kind of goes with a lot of different devil fruits where the animal doesn't have a defined color pattern. You know, with dogs, there's different breeds of dogs. So, you know, because we have Dalmatian, we have Lassie, who's the Dachshund, you know, we have, you know, Jabra, who's the wolf. We have a lot of other variations of that. We've seen, you know, so we know that, you know, zones for the different varieties, I guess, maybe for like different breeds of rabbit would result in different, you know, different breeds of rabbit would be different, you know, color patterns. But for the most part, I would just assume, you know, whatever color your hair is. Now we are going to move on to kind of what I guess the mythical variants of the rabbits would be, or, you know, rabbits in different cultures that have, you know, been in different cultures. So it might result in the rabbits. Now, obviously the name of the channel is, you know, Moon Bunny. And that was, you know, that is a reference to, of course, you know, the rabbit that's supposedly on the moon in a lot of, you know, mythologies. And in other mythologies, there's the Mayan moon goddess is usually holding a rabbit a lot of the times. And, you know, in, you know, Japanese mythology, there's, you know, the rabbit that makes mochi on the moon. And Sun Wukong in Journey to the West at one point has to fight the moon rabbit. So there's a lot of variations of, you know, rabbits and bunnies in different mythologies. By that logic, it could be different rabbits have different properties. And then, of course, there's, you know, the weird combination versions of rabbits, like the jackalope, are not real. I've seen fake versions of jackalopes. I live in the Midwest. We've seen fake versions of jackalopes all the time. In not like, oh, there's this picture of a jackalope that's in the paper. It's no, it's just we have different teams that have like a jackalope for their mascot. And, you know, and then there's a few other variations of like rabbits merged with something else. You know, we have jackalopes and things like that, that represent different teams here in the Midwest for like schools or whatever. But, you know, they're not like super prominent, but there are a couple. And then there's other variations of like a rabbit mixed with other things, you know, cats or birds or whatever. They're in different, you know, cultures and such around the world. Some of them are disturbing. Some of them are cute. Go look them up if you want to see them. And then there's like different variations of like, you know, rabbits sometimes are tricksters, or rabbits are, slightly more demonic things. If you watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail, don't mess with the cave rabbit. But, you know, throughout a whole bunch of different, you know, stories and such like that, there's rabbits in lots of different culture because they're very common in the northern hemisphere and even in certain places in the southern hemisphere, of course. Although not Australia, because they don't have rabbits there, as far as I'm aware. They do not have indigenous rabbits. They have like invasive species rabbits now, unfortunately. But there is a difference there. Maybe I'll do a kangaroo devil fruit. I don't think we've seen any kangaroo devil fruits. I don't think we've seen any kangaroo smiles either, actually. But you know, I would like it if they come up with another, you know, with a rabbit character in One Piece. That's not Carrot. I love Carrot. Carrot is awesome. I want Carrot to become a Straw Hat. I want Yamato to become a Straw Hat too, but we'll see what happens. One at a time. One at a time. But then, of course, we also have, you know, Carrot, who's kind of the representation of like the rabbit. And she's, you know, all the minks are affected by Sulong, so she's kind of the reference to the moon rabbit in One Piece. And then, of course, Mirko is the reference to like the moon rabbit in My Hero Academia. And then, of course, my shirt. I'll try to put the link in the video below for the shirt. For one of the places you can get it. It's Wonder Woman dressed. No, it's Sailor Moon dressed as Wonder Woman, which I love. And, you know, one Sailor Moon is very blatantly a reference to the moon rabbit. You know, Sailor Moon's human name is Usagi Tsukino. I'm pretty sure I slightly butchered the last name, but Usagi, you know, Usagi is her name, which is rabbit. And then, you know, Tsukino is, of course, reference to the moon. And, you know, she's the Moon Princess. She's Sailor Moon. Her daughter is literally name translates to Little Rabbit, you know, Chibiusa. So, you know, that's a big reference to that, which is, of course, something that I would talk about because, yeah. You know, plus I've got all these different, you know, stuffed rabbits that I've accumulated over the course of Easter. I might find more. We'll see. But yeah, in One Piece, I would like them if they came up with another rabbit type devil fruit or just something other rabbit-ish for someone to be that's not a smile. Rabbit Man could have been a lot worse, I guess. At least it's slightly cute. But then, of course, you know, we have Carrot, so there's that. I wonder what kind of devil fruit would be really good for Carrot. I think I just keep picturing her with like a snow type devil fruit. Like if the Yuki no Mi that, you know, that Monette had, if that ended up being reincarnated on the Thousand Sunny, then, you know, because Monette died and everything, if that got reincarnated on the Thousand Sunny, then maybe it's sitting there, you know, in Nami's tangerines, and maybe, you know, maybe Carrot will find it, you know, once they leave. You know, once they leave, that, or maybe, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna happen in the manga or not, but I think it would be fun because, you know, Carrot and Wanda just fought, you know, Perospero, and Carrot, of course, wants to get revenge on Perospero for what happened to Pedro, and, you know, Wanda wants revenge too, but Carrot's kind of the main one that's going after that. I think it would be fun if she like goes back to the Sunny, because the Sunny's not too far away from where they are. If like she ended up back at the Sunny and she found the devil fruit sitting there in the tree and she plucked it and she figured out that it was a devil fruit, either by like something that someone had mentioned that devil fruits look weird or whatever, and it's, you know, this weird variation of one of the tangerines or the minkans or oranges or whatever you want to refer to it as that Nami has, and she takes it and she eats it. And then she goes and she fights Perospero that way with her new Yuki powers. Then she can be, you know, Carrot the Snow Devil Bunny or whatever, which I think would be fun. Theory. Don't think that's going to happen, but that would be fun. Or like when they're leaving Wano after everything's finished, she like finds the devil fruit and eats it, and then she gets used to being a Logia. And they're like, we can give you some pointers on how to work with this. Maybe if they find out Kiji, he can help her with, you know, training how to use that power for how to use cold and everything. That'd be fun. Fun little, you know, training arc there for Carrot. You know, get Carrot a more power up that'll work even if she's not in Sulong form. That would work. But you know, One Piece, you know, bunny devil fruit would be fun. Don't know if it's necessarily gonna happen since there is Carrot. But that would be kind of fun. I just always thought that bunnies would be because bunnies have pretty strong kicking power for their size, with as high as they can jump and everything. And then from there it goes into, stronger, augment that on a human and they get stronger and stronger. So, that would just be a fun thing that Oda could do. Don't think it's going to happen, but it would be fun for them to be another devil fruit that way. I mean, we had the horse zone way back in, Skypiea, and then we had speed. So, maybe there'll be something later on that has that. I don't think any of them I don't think like the ancient version of a bunny zone is going to pop up, or like the Loppin version of a bunny zone is going to pop up, which, a Loppin version of the Loppins are pretty strong. So that would probably work as a good thing to have, or a sea Loppin, because I think the sea Loppins can breathe underwater. So like the sea Loppin version of like the bunny devil fruit would be a good one to have as well, because then you could breathe underwater. You're still not going to be able to swim, but you're not going to necessarily drown as long as you're in either your hybrid or your full Loppin bunny form. You would be okay that way, I guess. And if you're a snow Loppin, then you're, more resistant to the cold and everything. So, there's that. And we know that the Loppins are now part of the Peace Force on Drum Island. I think we saw that during one of the cover stories, where we got, checked in with everyone. But that's basically what we got there. One of my shorter videos, honestly, which is not surprising, considering the other ones are like 40 to 50 to an hour and a half long. So, that's what we got. We got bunnies. I actually have, because I do Pokemon as well, given by all the Pokemon plushies you've seen, I have a Scorbunny. I bred one specifically with Libro that's female, and I named it Mirko in Sword and Shield. I might do a video series at some point that's like different Pokemon that I bred that are based on different things. Like I have like Disney character ones, I have anime related ones, I have comic book related ones, just regular book related ones. So, I might do one of those. I might do some of those videos at some point, just because I put a lot of time breeding them, and, someone can always use like the nature and the ability and the Pokemon type thing as like a template for them to use. So maybe that'll be something I do at some point. Also, Mirko, Carrot, Lola, all awesome. Gotta throw Sailor Moon in there because, kind of what the channel's based, where the name comes from. So that's what we got for this. If you're watching this on Easter, then happy Easter. Hopefully next year things will be much better and we can actually go to places to celebrate Easter, as opposed to being stuck at home. And, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Bye. I live every day of my life like there's no tomorrow, so that when my number's up, I can check out with no regrets.